Good morning. So today we're going to work on quadratic word problems. So I got a question right here. This is stuff we did in the past, so this should look a little familiar, but if not, not a big deal. We'll focus on this today, but it's all coming together. So question right here says, suppose the area of a rectangle is 114.4 meters squared and the length is 14 meters longer than the width. Find the length and width of the rectangle. So we got two things going on here. We're going to be using our knowledge of perimeter and our knowledge of area to figure this out. So if I got a rectangle like such, and it always helps to draw these out, okay? So if the area is equal to 114.4 and it says the length is 14 meters longer than the width. The length is 14 meters longer than the width. There's my width. So I know that my area is length times width. All right. And well, in this case, I'm not going to use the perimeter. You're going to see what's going to happen here. I'll be able to make a quadratic initially off of this. So the length is this. So the area is right here. So 114.4 is equal to parentheses 14 plus W times W. And in this case, I already able to make a quadratic, so that's why I don't need to use perimeter, as I said earlier. So I got 114.4 equals, I'm going to write this in proper format, W squared plus 14W. And like we've been learning, in order to solve a quadratic, it's got to be equal to 0. So simply subtract 114.4 from both sides. So now I got a quadratic. I can use W squared plus 14W minus 114.4. Now, we've learned 3 different ways to solve quadratics, and in my opinion, one of the best things to use is the quadratic formula. So I'm not expecting you guys to memorize this, but you use it so much that by default, you most likely will memorize it, okay? Let's face it, at your age, you have nothing better going on other than memorizing stuff like this. So that said, now let's use the quadratic formula because I'm not going to waste my time trying to factor this because I got a decimal. So let's just use the formula. So the opposite of V is negative 14 plus or minus square root of 14 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 114.4, all divided by 2, because that's 2 times 1. So I believe 14 squared is 198. Am I right? 186, I was close. So I got negative 14 plus or minus square root of 196. Negative times negative, this would be plus something. So I'm going to do 4 times 114.4. So I get plus 457.6, all divided by 2, plus 196. I get negative 14 plus or minus square root of 653.6, all divided by 2. Now, I purposely chose an example like this because it's okay that I'm not going to have the cleanest of answers, and I got to use my square root function. Give me a second. Where is my square root? There it is. So 653.6, 1 second, sweetie. Square root of.
I had to do a tally mark all by myself and I did it. Look at it.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, sweetie. 1 second. So now this is negative 14 plus or minus 25.6. All divided by 2. 1 second. That's wonderful. Good job. That's wonderful. You're so good. You're so smart. So now I got this as my estimated answer, 25.6. And that's fine because I'm only going to get one answer here because it doesn't make any sense for me to do negative 14 minus 25.6 because that'll give me a negative length, and that's impossible to have a negative dimension of a rectangle. So let's just do negative 14 plus 25.6. And that's going to equal 11.6. So I got 11.6 divided by 2, and I get 5.8. So 5.8, and if you want to go in and check your work, we just got, and you should get an answer really close to this because we did estimate this. So I'm going to do 5.8 times 19.8, and I'm going to see what I get times 5.8, and I get pretty darn close to the right answer, 114.84. So we're good enough. I'll be back with a couple more examples, and we'll go from there. All right, welcome back. So I got two more examples I'm going to do right now. Oh, check it out. Who came and joined us? I got Princess Anna has come to join us. She's made a surprise appearance. Say hi, Princess Anna.
Hi.
All right, Princess Anna is going to join us. So now we're in a magical land. All right, so first question says, one number is the square of another. Their sum is 132. Find the numbers. So, you want to go past me? Or you want to stay and learn some math?
We'll see with that.
You want to stay with math? So, one number is the square of another. So, A equals B squared. One number is the square of another. Their sum is 132. Their sum is 132. A plus B equals 132. So, now we got to figure out what we're going to do. So if A is equal to B squared, I now know B squared plus B equals 132. Looking familiar? Set it equal to 0 to help solve for this. All right. And now I got B squared plus B minus 132 equals 0. And now we got to think, what numbers multiply to 132 that also add to positive 1? And I know that 12 times 11 is 132. So because I know that, I now know B, I need to do plus 12 and B minus 11, because this multiplies to negative 132 and 12 minus 11 adds to 1. So B equals negative 12 or B equals 11. And in this case, so those are my two solutions. Sorry. Those are my two solutions for this situation because negative 12 squared is 144, so on and so forth. And then I can do negative 12 here. Same will work for 11. So that is that. One second, sweetheart. That is that example. Now I'll do one more with you. And where's my eraser, Ava? It's right here. So this one goes with that one. And now I'll do another one. And these are some questions you'll see today. Okay? Types of questions you'll see today. It says the difference of two numbers. Let me get it back. Hold on a second. The difference of two numbers is 2, and their product is 224. Find the numbers. The difference of two numbers is 2. X minus y equals 2, and their product is 224. X times y equals 224. One second. So, here we go. Now, in order to do this one, I'm not going to mess with this yet. I'm going to mess with this one. I'm going to add y to both sides so that I can get x all by itself. So now this equation looks like this. X equals y plus 2. Now that I know what x equals, use our knowledge of substitution and put this in place of x right here. And now let's solve. So I got y plus 2 times y equals 224. Y squared, can you guys all see this? Yes, you can. Y squared plus 2y equals 224. And we are solving a quadratic, so we equal to 0. So I got y squared plus 2y minus 224. Now, this is an awfully large number, so I'm not expecting you guys to know how to know what multiplies to this that adds to this. So when that's the case, guys, feel free to use the quadratic formula. And we know that that's going to be -2 plus or minus square root of 2 squared plus, I'm sorry, minus, and I made a mistake, minus 4 times 1 times -224 all over 2 times 1, which is 2. And I know that this will be a positive product in here because it's negative times a negative times 224 is that plus 4. So this is going to be -2 plus or minus square root of 900 all over 2, which is -2 plus or minus 30 all over 2. Now, I got two answers. Okay, mental math, please take over. -2 plus 30 is positive 28. Positive 28 divided by 2 is x equals 14. That's one answer. -2 minus 30 is -32. -32 divided by 2 is -16. X equals -16. So that tells me that obviously 14 times -16 is -224. So that means the factors would have been, just to another way of looking at it, the factors would have been x plus 16 and x minus 14 equals 0. Again, I'm not expecting you guys to know that. That's why you can divert to the quadratic formula if it gets a little confusing, and always use this. This is good practice for today. So right now, Miss Paulson is calling me, so I got to take this, but I will speak to you guys soon.